Hey folks, this is Joe with Palmetto Land Buyers, and today we're talking about a process that I had to recently undergo, and so I felt like this would be a good time while it's fresh in my mind to share it with everyone. So again, Palmetto Land Buyers, Palmetto House Buyers, we're real estate investors here in the state of South Carolina. We only buy in South Carolina. So if you've got real estate you're interested in selling, please reach out. A big thing that sometimes, right, during the course of business, we'll encounter an issue where I'll buy a piece of land, and then that land may have one mobile home or several mobile homes that could be in bad condition. They've just been abandoned, and maybe you want to go ahead and get rid of them or destroy them, but you can't because they're currently registered at the DMV and also registered with the county. All right, so what's the process of getting rid of a mobile home that's on your land? Or what's the process of buying a mobile home that's on your land, right? Because that's the situation I had. I had bought a piece of property in Piedmont and there was a mobile home on the property. The mobile home was it was a 2000 model, so it's 2024 now. It was a 2000 model, so it wasn't one of those tin cans. It actually looked half decent from the outside. Now, the windows were busted. The inside was devastated. It was disgusting. It was in very, very bad condition on the inside, but the outside looked good and structurally it looked good. And so I had bought the land, but the issue with the mobile home was that the lady who owned the land that I bought the land from had also financed the mobile home from a company. She never paid the bill. The company who held the title for that mobile home subsequently went out of business. So I had an attorney try and contact the company. It was called Conseco Financing and Servicing. They were unsuccessful. Nobody can find the people who ran this company or who owned the company. So basically, the title was just out in limbo. And I had to undergo this process in order to attain title. Now, it is a cumbersome process. And I wish there were attorneys that would handle this process. I could not find one. And I looked, right? It's so obscure. It's so seldomly done that I don't know that there's really a market for it. And when you talk to city and county officials, a lot of them don't even know what I'm talking about. But as you see here on the screen, this is very much a statute in the South Carolina Code of Law, as you can see right here. These are the guidelines for declaring a mobile home derelict for its destruction or sale. Okay. So we'll read the document. It won't all pertain to us. I want to say that so there's it goes A, B, C, and D. So there's four options. The first two are for the general public. The last two are for local officials. And local officials, we'll read through the definitions here of what a local official is. Okay, so let's go through the definitions just so we're clear on what words mean. Okay, because this is a government document. So a derelict mobile home is a mobile home that is not connected to electricity and not connected to a source of safe potable water sufficient for normal residential needs. All right. Um, a derelict mobile home is not connected to the Department of Environmental Control approved waste disposal system. So it's not on a septic system and it's not on the county sewer system, or unoccupied for a period of at least 30 days and for which there is clear and convincing evidence that the occupant does not intend to return on a temporary or permanent basis, and that is so damaged, decayed, dilapidated, unsanitary, unsafe, or vermin infested that it creates a hazard to the health and safety of the occupants, the person using the mobile home, or the public. Okay, so it needs to either be the first one, right? Or it needs to be it not connected to electricity or safe potable water, which in my case, my mobile home was not connected to the electrical system, and it did not have running water. Okay. Um, Not connected to a Department of Environmental Control or DHEC approved wastewater disposal system. Mine was. Okay, so mine was just the unit was connected to the local or to the county sewer system. Okay, but here it was an or, and that's the important word here. It's or, right? So it's either this one or that one, not this and this. It could either not have electricity or connected water, or it cannot be connected to some sort of a wastewater disposal system. And then finally, unoccupied for at least a period of 30 days, which mine was. And I had to actually put up a sign. You see the sign here. This this sign, I had to put up a version of this sign on the door to let any, and there were no occupants, but it's just to let any occupants or anybody come into the house. You have to put it up for 30 days. It was part of the process. And also that it's so damaged. And this mobile home was extensively damaged. Like I said, on the inside, windows broken, no electricity, trash all over, rat poop all over the place. I hate to admit, it's disgusting. It's just nasty. All right, landowner. So let's continue with our definition. So landowner. Landowner means the owner of real property on which a derelict mobile home is located. Again, I own the land, or my business owns the land, right? So we are, the business is the landowner, and this mobile home is sitting on my land. Local governing body means the governing body of a county or a municipality. Local official means the office or agency that is responsible for inspecting or zoning property in a county or a municipality. And mobile home means a structure not including a modular home designed for temporary or permanent habitation and constructed to permit its transport on wheels, temporarily or permanently attached to its frame from its place of a construction or sale to a location where it's intended to be housing, a housing unit, or a storage unit. Mobile home includes both mobile and manufactured homes. Okay. So in this case, I would say the property is definitely a mobile home / a manufactured home. So it does fit the bill. It fits the definition. Okay. So again, there's A, B, C, and D. We're primarily focused. We're going to be focusing on A and B. Okay. So procedure A. Okay, procedure for landowner to have mobile home declared derelict, removed, and destroyed. And then you see here that 6-1-150B2 and 29-15-10, these are statutes. $80 filing fee recovered. Fee covers the initial hearing declaring the mobile home derelict, as well as the sale pursuant to statute 29-15-10. Okay, so the first thing, look, this is what I like about this form here. It's still a little bit complicated, but this form gives you steps here. This is everything you need to do in order to get the property. Declared derelict. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, the landowner must first apply to the local government official to have the mobile home inspected. The local official must provide the landowner with written confirmation that the mobile home has been inspected and whether it meets the criteria of derelict and removal / disposal as provided in the statute. So I did this already. I really didn't have to do it because this wasn't what I wanted to do, but I went ahead and I did this. It was a pain. And this is one thing you'll need to know. You're going to be working with county agencies. And I suspect that the bigger the county, the bigger the headache. I contacted Greenville County, which is probably one of the bigger counties in South Carolina, might be the biggest. second to probably Richland County, which is the capital. And it was a pain in the ass. I got transferred 4 times. And everybody first told me, no, no, we're not going to do it. No, you need to hire an independent inspector. And I literally had to read the definition and tell them that the judge told me to do this to get the government official. And finally, it was the zoning department, and I think it's ran by a lady named Sheila at the zoning department, who, after I read her this definition, gave in and said, we'll send somebody at some point, and she wouldn't tell me when. And this is the audacity with government officials, and I swear to God, I hate it. It's disgusting because there's no accountability. And really, I don't want to get into politics, but it's why communist regimes don't work. Everyone's a government official. Nobody gives a shit. And this person literally did not give a shit. She does not see it. Oh, she does not see it in my view, right? She doesn't see that this is important for me, that it's important for the community that we get this shit done. She doesn't see it that way. She just sees her hourly wage. She finally gave in and said, we will send somebody at some point, and we will send whoever the owner of record is the letter, which is absolutely fine. I'm the owner of record. I'm fine with that. But the amount of teeth that I needed to pull to get this done was ridiculous. So just understand that this is not going to be a walk in the park. They are not here to help you. You are going to have to fight for this. Now, smaller counties, you're probably going to have much better luck because there's less people. You know, one person might do 2 or 3 different things, and they're more aware of the entire process. Whereas in a county, they're so big, there's so much revenue at these counties from taxes that they've got individual people doing just individual jobs with just very narrow job descriptions that really nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Nobody knows big picture. Everybody just knows their little slice of the responsibility, and barely that. All right, but that's enough with my rant because it really got me upset. All right, step 2. Landowner must file a petition for removal and destruction of derelict mobile home. And this is the form here. With the magistrate court to obtain an order declaring the mobile home derelict. Now look, these forms are government forms. So this form here, what I would recommend you do, you come here and you copy this, or open up a new window, put that in there. This is the form right here. This is the petition right here that you would need to fill out, okay? My advice, you know, some of this is straightforward. And I would always recommend going to the court if you needed additional assistance filling this out. But state of South Carolina, county of what county are you going to be? What court? What magistrate court are you going to be filling this in? Put the county there. So in my case, it'd be Greenville County. Piedmont is in Greenville County. The petitioner is you. You are the petitioner. I would go ahead and put my name and my business name here. The respondent's going to be whoever owns that mobile home. Okay? How do you find out who owns the mobile home? Well, in order to find out who owns the mobile home, we're going to skip here a few steps. You must apply to the DMV and the county auditor for the name and address of any owner or lien holder. So you need to apply for the owner and the lien holder here. Once you got that, then you can fill this out, okay? All right, so the undersigned landowner, in our case, because we're not local officials. So landowner, you'd X here. A mobile home located at the address, the county, on the property of, description of the mobile home, the make, the model, the VIN number. VIN number for a mobile home, if you need to find one, you can find it on the chassis You can find it. I've never had success finding it on the I think it's called a chassis. The outs, it's the chassis would basically be like the steel underneath the mobile home. I think it's called a chassis. I don't remember now exactly. The steel frame. Um, I haven't had success ever finding it there, especially with an old mobile home. It's probably going to be rusted. There's going to be a lot of decay to that metal. You could definitely, if it still has a kitchen, they always put the VIN number, the manufacturer info in the cabinet underneath the sink. That's where I've always found it, even on really old mobile homes. I've just been lucky, maybe, but you could find it there. And then you got to fill out. So you'll fill out this information. The mobile home is not connected to electricity, not connected to a source. So we already went through this. So you'll check those boxes. The mobile home is so damaged. The petitioner previously applied to a local official. So you got to go through and check these boxes. Okay. And then you take this to the local magistrate, to the magistrate court that's in that county, that's in that area. And depending on the county, you may have multiple magistrates courts. Okay, so you may have multiple of these courts. You got to find the one that's closest to that property, or that falls in that jurisdiction of your land, of the property. Okay, so you'll fill that out, and then you'd have to go to court and submit that. All right. So 3, magistrate court must hold a hearing notifying all parties concerned, landowner, mobile homeowner, lien holder, and make a determination on the petition. A, magistrate court should first determine whether a landlord-tenant relationship exists. If so, the action must be suspended to allow separate action for ejectment. So if they turns out that they determine that, hey, actually the mobile home's not abandoned, there's somebody living in there, then you got to evict that person. All right, B, magistrate court shall issue order declaring mobile home derelict, reflecting its decision on the hearing. Okay, number 4, landowner must file a motion, and these are in no particular order. Like, I feel this is here, this is at the end. This number 3, this is at the end. Really, this landowner must file a motion and affidavit of a mobile home and follow the procedures set forth. Apply to the DMV and the county auditor for the name and address and any owner or lien holder. Okay, that's also going to be a hassle. To file that process with the DMV. If I got the form here, I should have it. Give me 1 second, because I recently went through this, so I have all these forms. Let me find this form. All right. Do away with that. All right, here's the form. All right, so you actually have to fill this out for the DMV. And so this form here, what you're going to do is usually this form is used by towing companies, storage facilities, garage, or a repair shop, or a person who repairs vehicles, or the authorization of such a business. So these are people like towing companies that probably have vehicles they don't have titles for, and they're trying to figure out who owns the titles. That's usually who's filling this out. But in our case, we fall into this first box. So you're going to have to print this form out. And this is South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicle Report of Abandoned, Derelict, or Unclaimed Vehicle or Mobile Homes, TR-2. And you're going to have to check here. There's 2 boxes here that you're going to have to check. The first one is this information is for use in an abandoned or derelict mobile home court proceeding. So you'll check that. And then you are going to say here, reporting and requesting information. And you're going to check this bottom box. So this top box, and then from this area here, this bottom box. Print your name, signature, date, Again, entities authorized to report abandoning vehicles or mobile homes must complete this section. So you really don't have to do this here. And then you got to put in the date. So you put in the date that you're filling this out, the VIN number of the mobile home, which you would have found, like I said, under the cabinet, in the cabinet, on the door of the cabinet, under the sink. That's where you'll find the VIN, the year, or the manufacture date, the make, the model. Odometer reading for a mobile homes, this is for vehicles only, but it's going to be, this you don't have to worry about this section over here, right? You don't have to worry about this section right here. All right, and then number 2, request for information. So you're going to do right here, you're going to check box 2 for use in connection with any court proceeding or investigation in anticipation of litigation. Applies to abandoned or derelict mobile home proceedings and liens for repairs or storage of vehicles. And then you print your name, you sign, and your date. And then you want to, again, this is for South Carolina, you're going to want to mail it to Titles Mail In Unit, P.O. Box 1498, Blythewood, South Carolina, 29016. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so you're going to want to fill this out. And what you'll get in return from the DMV is a list of owners and lien holders. And they're basically going to pull the title, read the back, and see who owns this, who owns a mobile home, who has a lien on the mobile home. They're going to get you that information, okay? And then keep that for your record because you're going to want to supply all that to the court. All right, number 5. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Here, B, provide written notice by certified or registered mail to any owners or lien holders that the local office has determined the mobile home is a derelict mobile home and there is a pending matter in the magistrate court. Okay, my recommendation is you just basically reword this right here. You got to send, so if there's an owner and a lien holder, you're going to mail them separately, okay? Whatever kind of mail, you go to the post office and say, look, I need to mail something. I need to capture a signature. I need to be notified once it's signed. If not, I need it returned to me, unclaimed, okay? You want to make sure that the mail is certified or registered and that it captures a signature. It requires people to go to the post office, sign stuff for it. You want to capture that signature to make sure that it was received. But I would basically rewrite this here to say, this is notification to any owners and lien holders that the local official for Greenville County or whatever county you're in has determined the mobile home at, and then the address, in my case, 504 Davis Road, is a derelict mobile home, and there is a pending matter in the magistrate court. Please contact Joanny Ortiz or Federal Land Company or Palmetto Land Buyers at this phone number, or contact the magistrate court at this phone number for more information. All right, so you kind of want to write the letter and send it in that way and send it out to them. All right, number 5, landowner must post a sturdy, weatherproof notice on each door of the mobile home for 30 consecutive days, reading substantially as follows. All right, and that's where this came in. This is just an example of something that I posted up, and the only difference is that I put some tape here to weatherproof this. This is a laminate sheet, okay? So I recommend you do something like that, or actually go to Kinko's or a UPS store and ask them to laminate however many of those notices you need. Typically, mobile homes going to have 2 doors, one in the front, one in the back. But you may have more than that. Maybe you don't. I'm not sure. All right, number 6, in the event that the court issues an order declaring the mobile home to be derelict and orders removal and destruction, the landowner shall send proof of the same to the county auditor pursuant, who shall remove the derelict mobile home permanently from the duplicate list. Upon the removal, unpaid taxes, uniform service charges, assessments, penalties, costs, and collections, and other amounts billed on the tax notice, which are due as a result of the value of the derelict mobile home, are waived. So, okay, so the order, let's say the judge says, all right, you get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's derelict. Let's just trash it. You need to let the auditor know. The auditor or the tax collector, whoever's responsible for assessing property and charging people taxes, you need to let them know, hey, here's my court order. Stop sending me notices. Because what'll happen if you got a mobile home, you know, they know where the mobile home's located. They're going to be, and it's not, taxes aren't being paid on it. They're going to keep going to that land and posting seizures and levies and different kinds of notices for that property when you don't pay taxes, right? So you're going to want to take that off. All right, number 7, the court may order costs to the prevailing party in these actions upon submission of an affidavit and itemizations of the costs. The cost of removal and disposals are the responsibility of the owner of the derelict mobile home and may be waived only by order of the magistrate court or if a local governing body has a program that covers removal or disposal costs. A lien holder is not responsible for the costs of removal and disposal unless the lien holder or his agent affects a recovery of the mobile home under its lien and subsequently knowingly abandons the mobile home on the property and allows the same to become a derelict mobile home. A landowner who is the owner of the derelict mobile home and is unwilling and unable to pay the cost of removal and disposal, a lien for the cost of removal and disposal may be placed on the landowner's real property where the derelict mobile home was located. Okay, so let's unpack this. This has to pertain to who pays for all this. This is basically saying the court, let's say you're the landowner, but you don't own the mobile home. The court can award you the costs, so you pay for it to get it removed. You pay for everything. The court might award you those costs if you submit the appropriate affidavit and an itemization of the costs. I don't know what affidavit it is. It doesn't have it listed here. This is where it gets a little tricky. You'll have to go to the actual magistrate's court and say, look, I want to get my money back for all this work that I've done, that I've paid for. I want to submit this affidavit. Now, look, guys, if you don't have success contacting the owner or anything like that, you're probably not going to have success getting this money back. But you could try, and you could do it that way. It says here that those costs, they're not going to. So if you go and the judge says you're awarded the costs, you know, we're gonna you get it from the owner, not from the lien holder. The only way the lien holder would be responsible for costs is if the lien holder actively prevents it from being removed or declared derelict, and then lets it continue to rot on your property. Then at that point, the lien holder would be the responsible party. If you are the landowner and also the owner of the derelict mobile home, and the county or the city removes it on your behalf, and you can't pay for them removing it, then they're going to put a lien on the land until that's satisfied. So just understand that. All right, so that's the process for just the first one. This is to declare it derelict so that it could be removed and destroyed. Now, the process that I'm going through is the procedure for a landowner to have a mobile home removed and sold. In this case, the mobile home, I actually want to keep the mobile home, so I want it to be sold. Ideally, I'd like it to be sold to me. The county won't do that. They won't just sell it to the landowner. They need to put it up for auction. and it gets sold to the general public. And we'll see. I haven't gone through this entire process, so I'll continue to explain that sales process once we get there. I've only gone through the administrative task of getting this property declared derelict so that I can then petition the court to have it sold. All right, number one, landowner does not have to have the mobile home declared derelict. I got it declared derelict, or I went through the process of getting it declared derelict, sending the inspector over there. I did not have to do that. I jumped the gun. I did not have to do that. So you don't have to do that. All right, landowner must file a motion and affidavit for abandoned mobile home and follow the procedures set forth in the statute. All right, you need to apply to the DMV and the county auditor for the name and address of any owner or lien holder. So I've done that. We reviewed that form. You need to provide written notice by certified or registered mail, right? So this is similar to other steps that we've already discussed. Provide notice by certified or registered mail to any of the owners, any of the lien holders. And it looks like this was a copy paste job, that the local official has determined the mobile home is derelict and that a derelict mobile home, and that there's a pending matter in the magistrate. Obviously, if you did not have the local official declare it derelict, you will just say that the mobile home is abandoned and that there is a pending matter in the magistrate court. And then also that you must post a sturdy weatherproof notice on each door of the mobile home for 30 consecutive days, reading substantially as follows. And then you provide the notice. Again, the notice should look like this, okay, on each door. All right. Once you've done that, you submit to the magistrate court. The court shall comply with all requirements of the statute in order to sell the mobile home. A final hearing should be held on the matter with notice given to all interested parties, landowner, the mobile homeowner, the lien holder. The determination of the matter shall be reflected in the court's issuance of order for removal and sale/destruction of a derelict mobile home. The court then holds a public sale of the mobile home, accumulating in the issuance of an order of sale. The court may order costs to the prevailing parties in this action. And that's it. And that's the process for getting it sold. I say that's it. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of bureaucracy that you're going to have to navigate through. It's not an easy process. There isn't, at least I was not successful in finding an attorney that can handle this case. Now there are attorneys that are dedicated to mobile home parks, right? So if you own a mobile home park, they've got a process for that. It's an expedited process, and you got attorneys that can handle that. But for this process here, it's much more difficult for some reason. I've contacted these people that do it for mobile home parks, and they just won't even touch it. Again, this is part of buying and selling real estate. Do you want to go through it? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Obviously, I do this for a living, so I jump through these hoops because I want to learn, because I may run into these issues again in the future. Folks, cumbersome process. Please reach out if you've got any questions, if I can help you in any way. Again, South Carolina specific, for my South Carolina people, I'll gladly help. If you're out of state, I won't know. These processes are different and they vary across the U.S. So if you're in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, you're probably going to have a different process. But if you're in South Carolina and you need help, please feel free to reach out. And my number 803-201-9137. Gladly help out, provide any advice. If you've got land or if you've got a house you want to sell, Palmetto Land Buyers, Palmetto House Buyers, we're definitely buying real estate in South Carolina. That's another thing. It's hard to find local buyers. We're local buyers. Right now I'm in Waterloo, South Carolina. We're headquartered out of Columbia, South Carolina. Please reach out if you need anything. Folks, I hope you found this beneficial and helpful. Again, if you need anything, reach out and we'll do our best to help you. Thank you so much.